Dostoyevsky told me you were here, son.
Why? What are you doing in this house? I thought you'd been driven out.
The last of my things, and I plan to leave without the hope of returning and without reclamations.
You'll be back. A parasite's always a parasite.
I don't like the way you talk to me.
You've always said the truth was paramount. The truth is, you pretended to be in love with Vavra Petrovna, and she pretended not to see that you were in love with her. As a reward for such silliness, she kept you around. Hence, you were a parasite. I advised her yesterday to put you in a suitable home.
You spoke to her about me?
Yes. She said tomorrow she'd have a conversation with you to settle things. The truth is, she wants to see you squirm once more. She showed me your letters. How I laughed. Good Lord, how I laughed.
You laughed? Have you no heart? Do you know what a father is?
You taught me what a father is. You never provided for me. I wasn't weaned yet when you shipped me off to Berlin by post like a parcel.
Wretch, although I sent you by post, my heart continued to bleed.
Mere words.
Aren't you my son, monster?
You ought to know better than I. Fathers are inclined to have illusions about such things.
Shut up.
I will not. And don't whimper. You're a patriotic, snivering, whimpering old woman. And besides, all of Russia whimpers. Fortunately, we're gonna change all that.
Who is we?
Why, we normal men. We're going to remake the world. We're the saviors.
Is it possible for someone like you to offer himself up to men in the place of Christ? Just look at yourself!
Don't shout! We shall destroy everything. We'll not leave a single stone standing. And then there'll be true equality. You preached equality, didn't you? Well, you shall have it. And I bet you won't even recognize it.
I won't recognize it if it looks like you. No, it is not such things we dreamed of. I don't understand anything anymore. I've given up understanding.
All that comes from your sick old nerves. You made speeches. We act. What are you complaining about, scatterbrained old man?
How can you be so insensitive?
I followed your teachings. According to you, the thing to do was to treat injustice harshly, to be sure of one's rights, moving ever forward toward the future. Well, that's where we're going, and we shall strike hard. A tooth for a tooth is in the Gospels.
You poor fellow, it's not in the Gospels.
The devil take it. I've never read that confounded book, nor any other. What's the use? What matters is progress.
No, you're crazy. Shakespeare and Hugo don't stand in the way of progress. Quite the contrary, I assure you.
Don't get excited. Hugo's an old pair of buttocks. And as for Shakespeare, our peasants working in the fields don't need him. What they need is shoes, and they'll soon have them once everything is destroyed.
And when will this be?
In May. In June, everyone will be making shoes. Rejoice, ancestor, for your ideas are finally being put into practice.
They're not my ideas. You wanted to destroy everything, not leave a single stone standing. I wanted people to love one another.
No need for love. Science will take its place.
But that would be boring.
Why should it be boring? That's an aristocratic idea. When men are equal, they're not bored, and they don't have a good time either. Nothing else matters, and everything's on the same plane. When we have justice plus science, then love and boredom will be done away with. People will forget.
No man will be willing to forget his love.
Again, you're indulging in words. Just remember, ancestor, you forgot. You got married 3 times.
Twice, and after a long interval.
Long or short, people forget. Consequently, the sooner they forget, the better. Oh, but you get on my nerves. Never knowing what you want. I know what I want. Half the heads will have to be cut off, and those that remain will be taught to drink.
It's easier to cut off heads than have ideas.
What ideas? Ideas are nonsense. Nonsense has to be suppressed to achieve justice. Nonsense was good enough for oldsters like you. A man has to choose. If you believe in God, you talk nonsense. If you don't believe in him and yet refuse that everything must be raised, you still talk nonsense. You're all in the same boat, and consequently, you can't keep yourselves from talking nonsense. I say that men must act. I'll destroy everything, and others will construct. No more reform and no more improvement. The more things are reformed and improved, the worse it is. The sooner people begin to destroy, the better it is. So let's start by destroying. What happens afterward doesn't concern us. The rest is nonsense. Nonsense!
He's mad. He's mad.